A tribute to Jeff Goldblum. This article has been written by Armando Brigham.
There's another example. See, here I'm now by myself talking to myself. That's chaos.
The most recognizable and beloved guy in Hollywood. Jeff Goldblum has been in some of the greatest movies and deserves a tribute. Jeff Goldblum has a range like no other actor in Hollywood and has consistently delivered hit after hit over the past 5 decades. From drama, action, comedy, and even horror, Goldblum has done it all.
I'm not saying it about a man like Kibner. I'm saying it about Kibner. He dashes one of these things off every 6 months. It takes me 6 months to write one line sometimes.
He's proved himself as a performer, musician, and even a director, and has brought warmth and zeal to every project he's been a part of. With over 134 acting credits, 14 soundtrack credits, and even a couple of producer credits on IMDb, Goldblum has certainly stayed busy over the years and has never slipped into a physical or artistic complacency, but always progresses further no matter what he's doing.
David, tell him!
I know why we have satellite disruption.
Surprisingly, Jeff Goldblum has only been nominated for 1 Academy Award, Best Live Action Short Film, shared with Tiki Goldberg, for Little Surprises in 1996, which he also directed. For all of his amazing and memorable roles, it's hard to believe he hasn't received a high number of accolades through the Academy and the Golden Globes. Jeff Goldblum has brought a lot of joy and emotion out in millions in some way or another and has made immense impacts on cinema to the highest regard. He desires not only praise, but to be bathed in compliments for his contributions to entertainment.
Mentholated would give me some vocal warmth and a nice, you want everything.
A brief look into the early life of Jeff Goldblum. Born in Pennsylvania in 1952, Jeff Goldblum was introduced to entertainment at a young age. As his mother was a radio broadcaster, his father considered an acting career earlier in life, but landed on being a medical doctor and even served in World War II as a major. He had an older brother who unfortunately died at the age of 23, but had left a huge impact on Goldblum and contributed to his love for music.
Preparation going into it. We're doing some interesting, unique mashups.
What many don't know about Goldblum, that he's also an extremely talented musician and acclaimed jazz pianist. He's shown off his musical skills in a number of his projects and has done a lot of work with Mildred Snitzer Orchestra in the past few decades. With ambition and talent pushing Goldblum further and further at such a young age, he decided to move to New York at the young age of 17 and pursue an acting career. Goldblum studied under famous acting coach Sanford Meisner, who is known for creating the Meisner technique at Neighborhood Playhouse.
What did I learn with Sanford Meisner? It's this improvisation that he teaches at the very beginning.
Goldblum's special gifts were obvious at a young age, and he made his debut performance in the musical Two Gentlemen in Verona, which won 2 Tony Awards and was nominated for several others. Goldblum was in his late teens and early 20s during this period, so he was quickly pointed out as a rising star. The success of the musical and the positive reception to Goldblum's performance foreshadowed a career full of triumphs and artistic leaps that Goldblum still continues today. Even after getting on camera roles later in his career, Goldblum continued to do Broadway shows from time to time and has been in a few shows in the past 20 years. Not long after his debut live-acting performance at the young age of 22, Goldblum would make his film debut in Michael Winner's 1974 film Death Wish, starring Charles Bronson, where Goldblum played the character Freak Number 1, which in hindsight is a hilarious nod to Goldblum's peculiar characters. That same year, he played a small role in Robert Altman's film California Split, starring George Segal and Elliot Gould. Goldblum started to veer closer towards leading roles in film when he landed a role in Lawrence Kasdan's film The Big Chill in 1983. John Landis, acclaimed director of The Blues Brothers and Coming to America, put Goldblum as the leading man in his 1985 film Into the Night. The film was met with mixed reviews, but Goldblum's iconic status would start to take form in David Cronenberg's The Fly, where Goldblum played one of his most memorable characters of all time, Seth Brundle.
I've become free, I've been released, and you can't stand it. You'll do anything to bring me down.
After this, Goldblum officially became a respectable and beloved actor nationally, and would soon internationally be one of the most recognizable and acclaimed actors in Hollywood.
You did? Yeah. You took a chance and it worked, I think.
Going from established to iconic, Goldblum reached new heights in the early 90s and was being offered different types of roles with wide ranges. He played a number of great characters in blockbuster and indie movies throughout the late 80s and early 90s, but arguably the movie most people think of when they think of Jeff Goldblum is Jurassic Park. Directed by Steven Spielberg, the film went on to win 3 Oscars and grossed over $1 billion worldwide. Just a few years later, Goldblum won his first and only Oscar for directing the short film Little Surprises in 1996. Goldblum was also making television appearances semi-regularly during this point in his career. A few memorable ones are Sesame Street, Saturday Night Live, and The Larry Sanders Show. Goldblum was now comfortably nestling into icon status and far surpassed being an A-list actor in Hollywood. After playing supporting roles in Independence Day and the Jurassic Park sequels, Goldblum was oscillating between his music career and his film and television career successfully, demonstrating his versatility in numerous artistic avenues and emboldening his transitional right from established actor to an iconic artist. The most likable guy in Hollywood. Jeff Goldblum had several accomplishments throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, but starring in one acclaimed filmmaker, Wes Anderson's movies, was a reinforcement of Goldblum's versatility and power. And no matter what role is offered, he will do a fantastic job. Goldblum made his debut in Anderson's The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou in 2004 and later joined Anderson again in his Oscar-winning film The Grand Budapest Hotel. Goldblum became a television star when he landed a regular role on Law & Order: Criminal Intent in 2009, but only stayed on the cast for a little over a year. In the most fitting part possible, Goldblum struck gold once again after he joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Taika Waititi's Thor: Ragnarok and played the amazingly memorable Grandmaster.
Man, he's a fighter.
I take 10 million.
Tell her she's training.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, transfer the units.
Disney Plus even eyed Goldblum to spearhead one of the most marketable shows when the platform was just beginning. The World According to Jeff Goldblum was met with immense praise commercially and critically. There's no doubt that whatever Jeff Goldblum does, he's going to succeed and ensure anyone watching will gain from his performances, or at the very least be entertained. We at Hollywood Insider happen to be enormous fans of Jeff Goldblum. We support you, Mr. Goldblum, and will always root for you.
Right.
But I'm loath to put on the radio these days or do anything. I like to really pay attention at every single moment.